One of the biggest purchases any of us will ever make in our lives involves buying a home. It's a lot of money and a lot of information to process, but you've probably heard a few things over the years that aren't necessarily true in that process. So we're talking money this morning with Donnie Fatobene. He's the Senior Mortgage Sales Manager at Farmers National Bank. Donnie, good to see you as always. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays to you. Good morning, everybody.
So I mentioned misconceptions and that maybe not everything out there that we've come to believe is accurate. So what are the biggest ones in your mind?
So there's quite a few. You know, the first thing would be down payment. You know, a lot of people think a big barrier is I need 20% down to purchase a home. And it's just not true. There are so many loan programs out there that, you know, require much less. Some loan programs require no money down. Okay, I mean there are programs such as FHA that allow 3.5% down. Conventional loans you can go all the way down to 3% downs, and then there are some programs out there like VA or USDA where there are certain criteria that it takes to qualify for the no money down.
So it basically sounds like it's just to make sure that the more money down you put, the less you're going to have to pay, right? Sure. But you can still get a mortgage. So
Absolutely.
that's not stopping you. Second one on your list is that well, let's take a look that you need to have perfect credit in order for you to actually. I mean, how many of us even have perfect credit, right?
There is nobody that has perfect credit, so to speak, okay? And there are so many things that affect your credit score. The best thing to do is to talk to one of your local farmers, loan officers, let them pull your credit and see exactly where your credit is. They can sit and they can counsel you, and if there are things that need to be taken care of before you're able to purchase a home, they can kind of coach you along that route as well, okay? And yeah, but you would be surprised that perfect credit, again, just doesn't exist, okay?
We all want the highest number that we can get, but it's frankly just not possible for many of us. The next one is one that I think that a lot of people have talked about, especially over the last few years. Seems like everybody's, oh yeah, I'll do it when the rates come down, and then they wait for a year and they're like, well, rates aren't any better, so we're
I mean, so we all got spoiled, didn't we?
We did.
Back a few years ago when you had rates in the low threes, even the upper twos, depending on the term that you take. Where the rates have gone, 30-year fix is right now in the low sixes is where you're going to be. If you look over the last 30 years, 30 years ago, people would have killed for a 6.5.
That's true, yeah.
Okay, they had rates in the upper teens. So, the one thing I would not do is just sit and focus on the rate and wait for those rates to go back down to where they were, because we may never see those again. Okay, now we may see the rates, maybe start to trend down.
And if that happens, then somebody can refinance too, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. But again, it's more than the rate; it's that payment that you're looking at. If you can get into something and your payment is something that's comfortable for you, and a lot of times we see people come in, they're paying X number of dollars for rent. We give them what their payment is to purchase a home, and it's way below what they're paying for rent. And when they are doing that, they're now also building equity and building, wealth down the road for themselves.
Yeah, well, you mentioned rent too. I mean, that's another debate for a lot of people. Can you afford to buy versus rent, right? Sure.
Yes, absolutely. So that's one of the things, again, a lot of times you can get into a home much cheaper than the rent you're paying.
That's just a fact of the matter, right? And then the last one that you had on the list is that you can't really afford a mortgage if you have, or you can't really tackle a mortgage if you have other debts.
Yeah. So that's what the one thing, again, sitting down with one of your local loan officers here to really take a look at your situation. Obviously, if somebody has a massive debt, that is going to prohibit them from purchasing a home. But again, that's where you can sit down with a local loan officer, sit down, and they can kind of coach you through what you need to do to get yourself in a spot where you can purchase that home.
And the American dream, right? If anybody wants to kind of get working on it and see what they can afford, or talk to a professional just to kind of get the basic ideas, how do they reach out?
So reach out to Farmers National Bank. I think you see our phone number there. They will put you in contact with one of our local loan officers who will sit down with you. And I think that's very important as well. You get a lot of people that are going out and they'll contact somebody on the internet.
Yeah.
It's still a hands-on, face-to-face is much better for you, where you can sit down, make that personal touch with the loan officer who can coach you through. You're not just somebody on the other end of a computer, and they can really coach you through to put you in the spot you need to be.
More than just a name and a number. Donnie,
Absolutely.
great to see you as always.
Oh,
Thank you so much. Appreciate
Merry
it.
Christmas, everybody.
Now you're armed with a little more knowledge and debunking some myths in the process. For now, we'll send it over to take a look at the forecast.